Okay, hello. Welcome. Happy Easter. Yesterday was Good Friday and tomorrow is Easter, so it feels appropriate to say that. Alright. I noticed when I was going and changing the location that I am officially at... Well, it said it somewhere. Where did it say that? Well, it said 60-something%, I think. I forgot. Oh, there it is. 79%. Very nice. Nice high percentage. Anyway, I stopped off just in front of the entrance to Cold Stuff. I think I was told that this is one of the easier levels of this hub. So, to have a good time. All machines generate a certain amount of waste heat, and when a machine is above a certain size, this becomes a significant problem that has to be addressed in the design, lest the heat bubble inside the machine and swell until it bursts apart in an eruption of fire and shards of blackened metal. For most above-ground machines, a system based on the continual flow of water is sufficient to absorb most of the heat and dissipate it into the atmosphere. But when a machine is built in the middle of a lava cavern, water is neither cold nor sinister enough to serve the purpose. And so the subterranean machinist coolant of choice is a cruel, cold, caustic gas derived from a recipe reverse-engineered from machine parts found in the ruins of ancient civilizations in the abyssal depths below the world. This substance is generally called fluff to avoid striking too much fear into those who have to work with it. But make no mistake, it is alive, always sensing, always thinking, and entirely malevolent. Alright then. That is some more about fluff and puff. Anyway. Okay. Here we get our basic introduction to this stuff. I wonder if I can make these film a blob. I mean, I know I don't have to in this room, but I'm just curious if I could do it. I think that this T shape is no good. I might need a better obstacle or something to actually achieve that result. Oh, I did it. Look at that. That makes the exit easy afterward. And I'm pretty confident that that room wasn't supposed to be about that interaction, but it was fun. Alright, here we clearly need to wait 30 turns. I don't know if making a block there was necessary, but probably. It was easy, so it was probably necessary. Alright, there we go. Left-click a puff to see that. Left-click a puff to see its current target. Yep. Thank you, mysterious voice from beyond the void. What are we doing in this room? Looks like somebody's gotta press this button. And also this needs to be pressed. Which... we just need an ice bridge for that. Okay. So I should probably leave these alone. I think this will be good enough. Clear. Ta-da! Okay. Here we learn interesting facts about hot tiles, I guess. Oh, that's shallow water. Okay. I was like, I feel like I'm missing something, because can't I just stab the brain and then kill the eye? Okay. Understood. We need to guide the puff past this. Here's a tasty brain for you to eat. Also die in the process of eating it. No question. I wonder why the eye was necessary. I guess it further illustrates that you can make ice and use that on... Yeah, the previous room was about making ice on deep water, so that's just illustrating ice exists on shallow water too. When you have a puff do something. Right. We need to cut all the tar in this room. Okay. So certain parts of the tar blobs, of the tar stuff blobs, when cut, will release more puffs. Which will make things a little more dangerous, I guess. I might be being really overly cautious about this. That was close. But, no. I don't know that TSS was ever this gentle about introducing the puffs and fluffs to the blade. I can't cut this stuff, but maybe I can push it around. Trying to figure out why that's an on-off. I mean, I guess it... Okay, not just I guess, but clearly that doesn't matter. Whether it's an on-off or single use, it's just like somehow... some kind of absurd efficiency thought in my brain is like, clearly that should be a single-use plate, because that... Anyway. Nothing happens if there's a fuse in the way. So maybe I should just make sure the fuse is maximally in the way. Try to be good. trapped here. Would it help to bring tardies with me? I feel like it would, but I can try that. But it won't help if that happens. I feel like there was any one single trick to that, just kind of find some way to get past. I mean, you could argue, I don't know for sure that bringing tardies was absolutely necessary, but it did work. Okay. Special keys. Not that I can tell. Looks like I just... Looks like I just need a golem to go into each box, right? Point seeming to be that, yes, golems kill Puff without getting hurt themselves. I maybe could have set that up better for myself, but managed to get out of it. Oh, here we go. You need to bash Puff against each other in this room. I've made so many rooms based on this idea. Well, at least 3 anyway. Generally, a lot more going on. A lot less friendly than this one is. So I should know what I'm doing. Yeah. I've made rooms that were that bit much, I think. That and beyond. It's just too many. I need really 2 of them. There we go. And I don't feel like filling that by myself, so I have it. Alright. It's the interaction with Briar Room, I guess. Okay, we need to hit those, I guess. This is, not really winning praise here. Oh, there's a bunch of water bears. There we go. Let's sneak that out. There we go. Had significantly more trouble with that than I think I should have. Oh well. Alright, I think I know what this room's asking. Let's see, we don't want to push any of those. And since Briar blocks Puff, the goal is to move it over into that formation where it will block that. I feel I have a bit of an advantage from making things like asking for similar results in the likes of TV Dinner and other things that I've built. Although I tend to give the player a speed potion for these kinds of things, I think this probably isn't hard enough to really require that. That should do it for that one. Okay. So this one, we get a stick. We need to wait. Oh, I hate that. Okay, never mind. This does the thing that I would be inclined to want it to do. So I closed this by accident by wandering along these buttons as I was doing the work. But this will open it, and so I only need to worry about the briar closing it. not myself. Okay. Let's see. Nope, not that. This way, please. No. This way, please. Okay. Perfect. I don't need to buy. Pickaxe. I don't think there's any way for a pickaxe to interact with this blob that doesn't destroy one. Shame, but I think I'll be okay after that. There we go. Yeah, this part is pretty tight. Especially since you have to destroy one at the beginning. I mean, there is more than enough, because 2x2s would be enough. But that's not in the right place. There we go. Perfect. Great room. I like that one. Okay. And here. Well, it looks like I need to go in there, probably. I don't know. Engineer's supposed to build a fluff vent there. There's a lot of things going on, but I think what we want to do is line these up in here. So. Okay, he's targeting the engineers. I'll need to do that to push upward. There we go. Not quite sure what I should be doing here. If I go there, I'll be able to go there. Take the sword back, go and push this, let the engineer out. I suppose this fire trap would kill the golem. I think that's where we want the golem. On the fluff bones. Okay. I don't really get it, but that's fine, I guess. Alright. Here we have snakes and puffs. A large number of force animals here. This will activate that, which something. Anyway. Well, the important thing is I need to drop a trap on the right. What's this about? Oh, this is a synchronization thing. Okay. I need to open that. Okay. So I just need to feed this to the adder on the west. Oh, that's not quite right. Now the one on the... I guess these are not the same thing with path. So if I do nothing, then the west one wins. But if I make the west one smaller, then the east one wins. So I guess I should make the east one smaller again. Or the east one even smaller. What's being expected west one starts out too big. If I make it smaller, then it's too small. If I make them both smaller, then the east one is too small. If I make them both 2 tiles, then the east one is too small still. What am I supposed to be able to do about this? The only thing that I can do is make the adders smaller. I can't do, like, literally anything else. The other thing that I could conceivably do in this room is make a bridge over the water here, and somehow I don't see how that could possibly help though. I mean, if I want, I can make a bridge then let the adder walk across the bridge. But that really doesn't help at all. I can't possibly see how this can help. I mean, if I'm just supposed to delay the adder, that should happen by waving it off. This is just completely uncontrollable. I guess in theory that could work, but that requires extremely precise snake manipulation at a level that I'm not really feeling very capable of. I guess it might be easier if that one is smaller. Like, for one thing, I can't really tell exactly how much delay I need. And for another, if I knew exactly how much delay I needed, I could not guarantee it because I can't precisely decide exactly when the snake goes back into its box. So that seems to have been not enough delay. I can't believe this is the intended solution. Like, this is way too messy. Like, you have this very clean, readable setup where you're clearly just supposed to make their adders shorter. I can't believe that you're really supposed to do this nonsense. Seems more likely to work. I mean, the thing that made me want to try to do this is notice that most of the room you have pit or wall, but you very specifically chose to have water here. And if you have water, then you can have thin ice. So why would you make it possible for thin ice to be exactly in that specific location, other than that you're supposed to do something like this? I can't think of any other reason why it would be like that, unless it was just carelessly made water without thought. But for the most part, I'm inclined to treat any room in this hole as being built with thought behind basically every choice. Which makes me perceive things like there's water here instead of pit as a hint that maybe wasn't supposed to be a hint. Yeah, that almost works. Like, yeah, it's plausible that this was an aesthetic choice that wound up looking like a hint to me because of how carefully designed a lot of this hole is. But if this isn't what I'm supposed to do, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Because every other option doesn't work. Giving each adder any specific number of puffs doesn't do anything. Always one side or the other just wins. And I can't create the tie at the level that the room is demanding by just changing how long the adders are. Like, I basically tried every available combination that you can get, starting from the amount of adder that you have at the beginning. And none of them actually worked. I need like one more turn of delay. I don't think I can create exactly one turn of delay. That's probably too far back. Okay, that works. Which really, really makes me want to ask, what was the intended way to do this? I mean, I'm pretty confident that was not what was supposed to happen. Let me look at a fast demo. Krish does this just immediately. Okay, I guess that makes sense. You want to synchronize them by... okay. You want to synchronize them by letting the left one go ahead for a bit and then shorten it. That does make a lot more sense than my awful solution. But I stand by my awful solution, so... Alright, between two equidistant targets, puffs prefer the one later in movement order. So... because we are both choosing to put a scroll in this room and calling out move order, this must be about shuffling the brain so that the puffs will kill them in the right order. So... yes. So this one should come first. So it should be the latest one in move order. Right, they are in a sane order to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to make this nice and easy for myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the latest one in move order. And it goes first. Then 5 should go here. And then 4 should go here. And then 3 should go here. 2 goes there. And 1 goes there. I accidentally 2 of them at the same time, and that's probably bad, so let's not do that. Yeah, if you have 2 come out at the same time like that, then the one that's, after the brain here is dead, the next one will prioritize one of those 2, which would be no good. I just want to imagine showing this room's demo with no further context to someone who has never heard of or interacted with Move Order, but otherwise has played a lot of Rock. Because it just looks like nonsense. It looks like Bethro walks into a room, rearranges a bunch of brains for no apparent reason, and then the Puffs decide to go to the brains in a specific order that's convenient for him. I mean, it's hard not to imagine that that's how it would look like to, someone in universe watching Bethro do this. Anyway, what is going on here? We have a citizen. The citizen is going to run around this central platform doing things of some sort. You have to drop the trapdoors, and then press this. And then the citizen can run around doing things. And he's supposed to push these in an order. Okay. And don't press that. Don't press either of those. But press these. So the order doesn't matter. But we want the citizen to never hit one of those. And we have access to 4 Puffs and 4 Wraithlings. So I think the goal is to make some thin ice so that the citizen has a nice path to where he's supposed to go. I have a couple of questions about that, but if I just do nothing, what does the citizen do? It's that, it's that, it's that. It just bounces between them. How is he ever going to hit the middle one? Let's see if I can figure that out. So, I don't remember whether or not ice can prevent a bridge from falling. My impression is that it shouldn't, but I may be wrong about that. No, that. So if the Wraithwing was here, the Puff was less of a jerk. Wraithwing is drop the trapdoors. Yeah, okay. Thin ice can maintain a bridge, even though that doesn't make physical sense, it makes puzzle sense. So... with that in mind, I'm trying to understand what's with these relay stations. And Briar here. What's the point of that? Do I want the citizen to go here? Citizen can walk on shallow water, and it will try to path its way to the relay station itself. My presumption is that this is going to be a trap that the citizen will walk into if the west and east bridges still exist. In which case, I don't want that to be the case. So I want to preserve bridges, but not these. So I think preserving... it seems to me that preserving this bridge might be the correct thing to do. I want to force him to go up at some point, so I should not preserve this bridge, but maybe the others, like at least this one. I don't really know what to do to reason this out without just guessing and checking to some extent, but that's fine. That's not a complaint. I just don't think I can personally figure this out without trying something and then seeing what happens. So let's see. Get this rate into position. So if I have just these, then what happens? First of all, I should avoid myself in the process. Push this, and then decide to go north. Why would you do that? Why would you do things like that? Okay. Perhaps he does that, but then he's going to go across and hit that button. And hit that button, and then he does that. So how can I prevent that? Position. I really don't have any idea how the citizen decides what order to do these in. I mean, I thought he just goes for the nearest one. maybe that is the case, because if he's here, and then those two are way over there, this would be the nearest one. The nearest one he hasn't done in the current cycle, maybe? In which case, I don't really see any way to keep him from stepping on these. I suppose I could keep this bridge if I spend a puff to destroy this briar. And then another one to preserve the bridge. But that doesn't solve the problem of the other side at all. I think if I do that, then the citizen won't... won't get himself trapped. Please. Oh, that's no good. Yeah, so if I do that, he'll go in the trap, but he has an exit to it. Do I just need to make an exit to the trap on the other side too? I doubt that. I'm very specific about where I place this. Instead of destroying the briar, I just make an exit to the trap. Citizen, please. Okay, I can't do this one. I have it there. And my understanding is the citizen should go to that place but have an exit from there. And then he should continue. So I should just need to do exactly the same thing on the other side, but spun around. So do the same thing over here. Like that. that should work, based on my understanding of the situation as a whole. Which may be a flawed understanding, but it seems like it should work. Yeah, that does work. Okay. I hope that's what I was supposed to do, because I don't know what else I could have done there. Alright, get a time clone who's going to presumably stay in here. Maybe. So since what's going on here? Regular Detro walks in. Kills this, and then can only leave once the room is clear, which requires the time clone to press this plate. The time clone walks in, gets a pickaxe, waits a long while. Two growth cycles worth of time. Something happens for sure. I think the constraints are saying this has to wait on regular Detro to finish going in there. It then has to wait two growth cycles. So take a wild guess what this will look like after two growth cycles. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. What grows first. So I guess I just have to wait and I have to look and watch. Well, of course. I guess that should have been obvious. The gel won't grow because it's not attached to the gel mother. Duh. But aside from that, I don't get it. I guess the point is just, hey, tar grows faster than puffs, but if the purpose of this room is to teach that, then it should just show that. It shouldn't, like... I don't know, in my opinion, it seems rather silly for the room to require you to guess what's going to happen with no prior knowledge. As opposed to letting you know what's going to happen and asking you to do something clever with that information. I don't know. Ta-da! A little bit silly, honestly. But okay. So tar takes growth priority over puffs. This is just a puff board. Drop all the trapdoors and you won't die. It's this room, which I'll try to do. Maybe I should start with a little. That wasn't so bad. It was very manageable. Okay. Here's the main one. I guess I'll do that later. Okay. Here we've got something. Let's see. This. Okay, this is just build a wall. This is make a wall sufficient to keep that snake from getting out. Here's some wall stuff that we can use to make the wall. Although it doesn't look to me like there's enough wall. So I need to cover 4 corners, and I only have enough to cover 2 corners. So I have half as much fluff as I actually need to do this properly. I'll just try a guess at which ones to fill and then hope that works. I sure hope those are the correct corners, because I have no idea. I mean, I have some idea, but not much. And it refuses to come the right direction, and it gets itself stuck immediately. Wow. Oh, snakes. Yeah, I don't think this can work with these few walls. It's just always gonna work. I get these before I can even get to the place. Let's check the solution. I guess that's the wrong places to put the walls. So we'll try the exact opposite diagonals. Hope that works. this corner is a paint page. Stop going after the snake. Watch, after all this effort, this is going to wind up being the wrong corner. Okay, will you behave if the walls are like this? Okay then. Since there were green doors from that room to future rooms, I guess they must be about puff pushing. Maybe. Let's try what's up here. Okay. So I need to use the Wraith Blade to guide this puff around the hot tiles. Straightforward enough. I guess I kind of need to fuck anyway. Just don't do that. There we go. That was pretty easy. Just understand that some things can fly. Alright. Next. We have a mirror. Mirror destroys buff. fluff up. And so does powder keg. I need to... No. What am I supposed to do here? So I have to bring a mirror through the first passage. For the second passage, I technically have a choice, but I kind of need both. Because I have to have the mirror's help to get the bridge, and I have to put the powder keg across the bridge onto the hot tiles to blow up the other powder kegs so I can reach the button. So I need both of them. But I'm not really allowed to take both. I can push the powder keg, I guess, but it's not really good as a do than I thought. I guess that's fine, but now I can't break the wall. Yeah, so I need the mirror so that I can actually break the wall in the first place. Supposed to get both. Can't see any way to bring more than one of them along. But I definitely need both of them. I don't see what I could possibly be missing here. If I bring the powder keg, then there's no way for me to actually break the wall, because I can't get the powder keg out of the way without destroying it. But if I bring the mirror, then I can't get rid of the powder kegs that are in the way after. So I really need both. Why not just do that? once again, this is significantly easier than I was making it. Alright. There we go. Now here, I think I need to use all 6 of them for a bridge. I think so. Do not. Could you not? I should try to make part of this bridge first. Really see how I can ever have enough turns to do this. Needs to be all the way as far as possible to the east. far enough to the east. There. Ah. Okay. I don't know what I did different and correct that time, but something worked anyway. Okay, so I guess south here, since the road's kind of a big eastward-facing blob so far. Try going south. Alright, here we have a clean horn with Puff also there, and a brain port at that. Pretty big level. Some quick, easy routes to it. Okay, I can see what's going to be a problem here, so let's try to deal with that appropriately. First of all, face this direction to that. Prioritize the central foods, followed by then I can worry about the ones that are pretty far from events. Okay. And events produce kind of a soft timer. Well, not really all that soft. Events produce a timer which you have to clear the room by this many cycles or you're just stuck. Alright, all about priority and efficiency, but not so efficient as to be absurd. Welcome to Caber, by the way. Yes, explosives do that to Puff. I'm gonna go north. Well, that was a weird one. When I went north and, like, the Caber killed the Puff against the room boundary, that looked a little weird. Okay. So yes, Gentry Eye will kill Puffs. That's a very uncomfortable gentry eye sitting directly on showers like that. Alright, so no, okay. That's a demonstration. It's okay that that puff dies. And it's okay that that puff dies up in the north. Because I only need one. And the one that I need is probably the one sitting there. I need to guide it around some walls. While being careful not to be killed by the sea and the sun. First thing I have to do is guide it out of here. Which it doesn't seem to want to move. Maybe I do need the north one? Although it doesn't seem to me like I can get there in time to do anything about it. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting there in time. So how do I get this puff to move? It won't move if I'm here. Despite that being pretty much as close to it as I can get. How am I supposed to be able to do something? Nothing works. Oh wait, what? What? Why? When I'm standing on the checkpoint, it should move toward me too. Why did it move toward me in this situation? Whatever. Moving on. Now it'll go toward the wrong brain. Very helpful. How can I make it target me? Guess I could try to put it around onto them. Target that brain. see where else I'm supposed to be able to go. I can't go here because there's a bunch of brains in the way. I can't go here because I can't walk through the area with the seat limit. And I can't do anything to make Puff not be a jerk while I'm trying to go around. What am I supposed to be able to do here? I can't go south in the middle because there's brains in the way. I can't go south on the east because there are brains in the way. I can't go south on the west because there's a brain in the way. I can't go south no matter what. Guess that's what I was supposed to do. Sure. Or just really annoying and frustrating trying to control this thing and get around anything in the process. Not that way. Come this way. Not that way. No. What am I even supposed to be able to do here? Excuse me a minute, I have a call. Alright. So this corner seems absolutely impossible after all of the extremely frustrating work needed to get here. Because if I have it up here, there's no way for me to get around this stupid seat to get to where I can guide it through. If I have it down here, there's no way around this mobile gentry eye to get it somewhere useful. That's what I was just trying to do. This is not... like, I don't know, is this hard? I guess it's hard, but not in a fun way. This is just deeply frustrating. I'm sure there's someone who enjoys doing this, but not me. feel like this would be less annoying and frustrating if instead of being a single giant maze that you have to guide one single seat through, if it was like a few miniature mazes that you guide like seat through, one of them opens the way for the next one or something. Okay, that has to get stuck for some reason. Let's try to do that raised. Okay. I don't know how to finish this. How to make it target the correct frame at this point. I guess I just have to hope this one is closer. Later in the game. Okay. So this is a room so precisely tuned with the location of the brains that if this one had moved before that one, then it would be unsolvable. I mean, admittedly, it was built by someone who knows that, but still. Okay. And this is also the room the level exit room, so I guess we'll be back here later. After the wonder of Caver. Not the Caver in this room, despite having the previous room introduce the Caver. Alright. So we've got some soldiers. Open the doors, the soldiers will go and kill these eyes if they have a path. The fire traps can't do this for me. The briar can't kill the eyes because there's hot tiles in the way. For a very brief instant, I thought this was shallow water and was like, do I need to do anything but release the soldiers? But of course you need to do more than that. I'm trying to understand why I would want to release Briar. Like, my goal is to make a bridge for these soldiers out of thin ice. Briar's just gonna get him away. Oh, that's it. Please not do that though. This just seems all around annoying. guess that's technically a step in the right direction. That's okay. I can't do it. I don't know. Pretty confident I'm doing this route wrong, because I don't really see the briar as particularly helpful. It sure seems like there's plenty of supplies to do it this way. that way go this way towards me. This way. Okay, I'm not sure why I thought more was helpful, but it seemed like it at the time. There we go. That's what I did. Guess it's okay if that one dies. Yeah, if I'm gonna take the ones from next to the briars, then I should be fine. Hello. I'm probably doing what could be considered an arbitrary challenge for this room. Hello, and happy Easter. I think the briar is supposed to somehow be helpful in this room, but I don't know how, so I'm just trying to do this without letting the briar out at any point. And I'm basically mostly there. I just need to make a bridge to the North Eye and I'll be done. Let's see. I can just do that. There we go. Now I only need 2 more to get this bridge finished. There's tons more than, yeah, there's 7 more to go, so 2 more is easy. Okay, there is an open path to every eye, so it should be good. What? Really? Okay, fine. I can fix that easy enough. I basically just take this and somebody's car alarm is going off outside. I don't think that'll get through the microphone, but interesting. Anyway, there. Extra constraint managed. So I'm confident that was more convoluted than that needed to be. You're supposed to do something with the briar that makes this much easier, I guess, but I didn't see it, so Let's see. How does Bilbo use the briar? Let's see. Just fill it completely with briar? No, I guess that is simpler, isn't it? I mean, it's not immaculately easy, but it is simpler. Okay. Okay. What am I actually trying to do in this room? I guess I just need this to die, which requires that to happen. But also, I have to be over here for some reason when that happens. Okay. Why though? Anyway. This opens a bunch of things. Sure. What is the point of all this? I don't know what the point of any of this is. Leave that open. Well, I guess I don't want this to ever happen. So I should go ahead and just kill the briar. Alright. And that starts a very long timer. No? How? Oh. Okay, sure. Sure. A lot of complication, but not that part of a room. Once you understand what it's actually asking to do. Oops. This is awkward to leave from. Is it supposed to be this awkward? Why though? Why? What am I supposed to do? Okay, there. I don't know why literally leaving this room is so awkward, but it is. Okay. And to the east, we have more than one room this way. Well, I don't know what's going on here. Get a fuse. blows everything up and kills me. And I can't. Yeah, just supposed to get more. No, getting the orb also kills me. Or at least it doesn't prevent my death. Let me try. The very first thing I do is walk in and hit the orb. Does that do something? No? Okay, I think the point must be that if you make the ice effect happen on a lit fuse, then it unlights the fuse. That's presumably what we're saying here, but I don't know how someone can... I don't know, I guessed it, so I guess anyone could guess it from this. Just from this setup alone. I guess to align with tins, I should make tins or something. I don't really know how to arrange the timing to be correct here. I guess that's not it. Okay, that's a turn off. That's a turn off in the wrong direction. No, wait, that didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Maybe I need to do it another turn soon. Yeah, okay. Rather harsh lesson, that. Okay, what's here? Don't let any bombs explode, except the north one. Okay. How can I begin to arrange that? There we go. Control the situation first. Now, still I won't stop. This is very complicated. I don't really really see how I can gain enough control over the situation unless I stop the fuse at the beginning. But as far as I can tell, that would leave me with not enough puff to stop the fuse after. I don't think I can get there in time. That's just frustrating. Like, you can't just cancel it also at that time. This is asking me to control too many things at once too fast. I'm somehow supposed to make the shove the eye into position and get the puff into position and keep the other two puffs from not going and doing something annoying with the other eyes. I really can't do all three of those things at the same time. There is not enough time for this feat, for this bomb. There just is not enough time. really irritating. That should count. If the fuse is trying to light onto a place where it would cancel a fuse like that, it should count. That should kill the fuse too. Why does it not? Is this needlessly precise? And I know this rule is probably way too old and set in stone to change, but it just makes this very frustrating. There. Ugh. A lot of very frustrating bits to that. It would be a much less annoying room if it was just, you know, if the game engine was such that you could light a fuse in more than exactly the one precise turn. I mean, put out a fuse. In more than the exact one turn after it's showing the orange graphics. Like, if you could prevent a fuse from going onto a place where the puff event is happening, it would be a lot less frustrating. This is probably the last room. What is this? We have a decoy, a powder keg. This bomb does something. This bomb does something else. Okay. What are the levels for? Don't know. So we need to go in here, get both of these, get the token, and then somehow the left fuse but not the right, the left fuse but not the right fuse has to be put out. Somehow. Okay. Right, they don't blob on the fuse itself. So. I think the way that puffs work and the way that the puzzles involving moving them around inevitably work just has a certain level of inherent frustration to it. And to some extent, it's the puzzle builder's job to make the frustration less present in the puzzle itself, in order to make a pleasant puff. You can choose to make the room unpleasant, of course. But if your goal is to make a fun and pleasant room, you kind of want to reduce that inherent frustration of using it. I have to give it so the east side is directly south of the fire truck. What I'm trying to do is make it so that the keg can explode and release puffs out. And then hopefully some particular placement of the decoy will cause the puffs to be timed perfectly so that they put out the fuse. Hopefully. So I guess I'll try the most obvious place first. I don't know what's up with this part. What's the point of having the player do all this? I guess there must be some kind of move that incurred if you don't make the player run up and down like that. Okay, this wasn't very hard. There's not... Somehow this is an exit level. I thought that was the last room that I haven't done. There must be a branch I didn't take somehow. What I was gonna say is there's not very many places I can see where a secret room can be in this level, since a lot of it is overpicked. Why is this room designed to be extremely annoying to navigate? Okay, there. So what am I missing? Oh, there it is. Yep. Well, that'll probably be an easier route since it's farther back. I mean, there's no guarantees, but it could be. I just didn't go this way. So we have this one room here. It's just another buff trapdoor board thing. Yes. This sword is much gentler than the other one. I don't get what I'm to say. But it's not easy. I think I need to. While it's satisfying to get them all in a single room, I don't have to do that. I can always get the rest later. Make things get dicey. Alright. Not too hard. Alright, there's exit. So, what I was going to say earlier is it doesn't look like there's very many places where a secret room could be in this level. Unless they're all, like, past the exit door. Unless they're all past the new door, I guess. This way. Okay. So. Okay, we just have a straight up exit. So if I look at the restore screen, there is one secret room in this level. I'd like to at least find it. I don't know if I'll feel compelled to complete it, but I should at least look for it. There's not very many places where you can break walls. I already tried the one that's over to the east of this annoying junction. So where could it be? It very well could be attached to this room, although investigating is somewhat risky. And it seems unlikely because if so, yeah, if there was a cracked wall in this room, you could use it to leave and re-enter and have a more advantageous entrance. So it's probably not that. And it could be attached to this area. Same concern as the one to the east of here. If there was a cracked wall here, you could use it to leave, instead of having to go north. It's not impossible if it's that room I just cleared, because that has a wall to the north. Although I don't see a way how you could leave if you did that. So probably not. Yeah, no, nothing here. Oh, where else could it be? It could be attached to the south of that room. Especially since you automatically walk in and get a stick. No, nothing here. Where could it be? Let's see, I've tried everything on the east side. If this is part of the tutorial room, it doesn't seem likely that the secret will be attached to the tutorial rooms, but I guess that's not impossible. Oh. Did I really just not go to the west here? I just didn't go here to the west. How did that happen? Alright. Oh, never mind. That's the entrance. That's why I didn't go there. Okay. Yeah, so the only rooms left I have as clearance for where the secret entrance to the secret room could be are these, which are like the tutorial rooms. But I don't see. It seems unlikely that they would be attached to these. Yeah, I don't think it's here either. Is there a cracked wall right next to the exit level stairs? Maybe? I don't know. I must have missed something very obvious. I do technically have the option of going into the hints and solutions map on the website and trying every room that's neighboring an existing required room to figure out which one it is. And I guess I could also just ask, if someone's still watching, what is the location of the secret room that I can't seem to find? Up there. I feel like I've tried everything. I tried these walls too. And I don't see it. I guess I'll go looking for it. I can't even find it in the editor. I can't even seem to find it in the room thing. In the room scouting thing with the Instant Solutions board. Yeah, please. If I just know what the location of it is, then at least I know what neighboring rooms to poke at. I probably just didn't put my sword in one specific place, which I thought I had. Or I didn't do some other thing that's not necessarily obvious. Directly south from the exit. Okay. Oh. Yeah. As soon as I entered this room, I saw that graphic of a secret wall is different from the rest. Okay. I should have seen this eventually from my scouting, but didn't manage to. So this room, we need to... Okay. This is akin to rooms where you need to spend a while disarmed in between being armed and then not being... Yeah, you're armed and then disarmed and then armed again. This is kind of like that, but your weapon is a hero. Not very efficient with this weapon. Okay, that's probably as good as I can do. Letting him glob up is kind of bad, but may not be too bad. It does sort of create an obstruction for others. It does briefly get rid of a large number of them. Oh, but as soon as that happens, I'm in trouble. I probably can't let that happen. At least not in a spot like that. I'm not really sure how to prevent that from happening either. Try to kill more or just go for it? I'll just go for it and see how it goes. I just needed there to be a gap and we're done. All good. wasn't too hard. Kind of used the lesson from, well, it used the lesson from all the way back here, which isn't even a room you have to do to get there, but I think maybe there was an earlier room that involved using a mirror just to kill Puff. I guess if I just make these extremely long, that's not gonna work. I don't remember how I did this before, so I guess I just have to wait for it to work out. Yeah, I don't have... So I want them to do as long as possible, but after the ball goes off, I think that's how you do it. Okay. There we go. This is what I want to do. Okay, I feel very satisfied. I completely finished a level, including a few hard and/or frustrating rooms, and including all the secret rooms. That seems like a reasonable enough amount of work for one day. On 3-hour stream time. I guess following the order of progression, and maybe still not going back to advanced time clones yet, would be Synergic Motor, which, looking at the elements available, I have to guess this has to do with maybe advanced mimic manipulation or something like that. Who knows? We'll figure this out later. Anyway, happy Easter. Thank you for watching. Have a great night and rest of the weekend and so on. And farewell for now.